What's going on, everyone? This is Tyler Weeb from Pro Physique, and today we're going to talk about whether you should be doing steady state cardio or HIIT cardio for fat loss. All right, everybody, welcome back. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. You are all crushing your Monday, whatever it is that you do. So today I wanted to go over whether you should be doing steady state cardio or HIIT cardio for fat loss. So first, let's define both types of cardio. So HIIT cardio is short, intense bursts of all-out work followed by recovery. All right, so those circuits that you are doing are not true HIIT cardio. True HIIT cardio is you should only be able to go maximally for 30 seconds, and that's even pushing it the upward scale. So really we're looking at 20 seconds of an all-out sprint and then about a minute 40 recovery, and you're only really looking at 6 sprints a session, maybe up to 8 at the most. So that is true HIIT cardio. So you are jacking your heart rate up, bringing it back down. Jacking your heart rate up, bringing it back down. All right? So I like to do the talk test. So you should not be able to hold a conversation at all after a sprint. All right? So that's HIIT cardio. Steady state cardio is a lot more subdued. So you are not jacking your heart rate up. You are keeping it quite low, and this is typically done, on a bike or on a treadmill. So you're not strolling, you're not going for an easy stroll, but you're not, again, talk test. You should be able to hold a conversation throughout the cardio. So it's typically, a lot longer, lower heart rate. You should get a light sweat going on. All right, so that's HIIT cardio, that's steady state cardio. So HIIT cardio became very popular about, 4 or 5 years ago. And there was the thought that you should only be doing HIIT cardio for fat loss and you should not be doing steady state, because what some studies were showing was that HIIT cardio was superior in terms of possible fat loss and just for how much time you had to devote to that. So typically, right, like I said, only 6 to 8 sprints. You're only looking at, 20 to 30 minutes of cardio, and you're getting the exact same results, if not a little bit better results than steady state cardio, where you're typically looking at 30 minutes plus, right? So you can see where maybe steady state cardio got kicked to the curb and everyone was jumping on the HIIT train. And now steady state cardio did have a bit of a bad rap because people were doing double cardio. They were doing 2, 3, 4 hours of cardio a day and just getting completely burnt out. And so as soon as HIIT came around, people were like, oh, well, HIIT it is, and screw steady state cardio. But I think we are seeing a bit of a trend coming back to steady state cardio. So while HIIT might be great for time constraints, so if you are, very busy person and you do not have a lot of time to spend and devote to the gym, well, one, you should be devoting the majority of your time to strength training, right? Because that is going to be the number one factor. And then two, though, well, let's do some HIIT cardio then if you just don't have enough time. Because this, obviously, like I said, you're only devoting about 20 minutes per time that you're doing it. But the big caveat is that you are going to have a tough time recovering from HIIT cardio just because it is so intense. So you're actually looking up at to 48 hours of recovery time after each HIIT session. So if you start getting up into 2, 3, 4 sessions of HIIT cardio, or I would say that you're almost not even doing HIIT at 10 sprints a session, well, you're going to have a hard time recovering for your training session, and fat loss is probably going to stall because you can only go so far with HIIT. So this is where our friend steady state comes in. Now, I know steady state, you're looking at 30 minutes plus, you're looking at spending a lot more time sitting on a treadmill, just walking there. But hear me out. Steady state cardio is probably going to be a little bit superior for fat loss. Now that is hard to say, but because of the mode, it's probably going to be just a little bit better for you. So, what positives do steady state cardio have? Well, one, it's low impact. So when you are deep into a diet or prep and you are consuming not a lot of food, sleep is maybe not the greatest, hormones are down, well, this is going to be a lot easier to recover from. Just because, like I said, it is so low impact. You're just walking there or you're just sitting on a bike with a light sweat. Number two, fat is the primary source of fuel for steady state cardio once we reach a certain point. Now, yes, the body does balance out a little bit throughout the day for what it burns, but you are getting that primary source of fuel from your fat stores, right? And three, you can pretty much add it infinitely. Now, are you going to do that? No, you're not going to add it infinitely, right? We're only going to add it in small increments, and if we're making progress, we're not going to add more cardio in, because why would we make you do more work if you're making progress on what you're currently doing? But that is the benefit of it, is that you can continue to add it without having to worry about it impacting recovery, and you can add it without having to worry about it impacting recovery for your training sessions, which again, like I said, is one of the more important aspects to dieting, to make sure you're bringing a solid training program and you're being able to bring it every single time. Now, one of the things we might run into is time. Because, like I said, we're looking at 30 minutes plus typically at a certain point in the diet. Now, there are some people, they are just crazy and they don't have to do any cardio. But most of us are going to have to do some type of cardio. So what happens when you start getting to 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 60-minute sessions, and you got to do that 4 times a week? Well, you could always break up your day. So you can either do some fasted cardio in the morning, right? You just might have to get up a little bit earlier, but that is a sacrifice that you have to be making. Or you could train in the morning, come back and do your cardio. Now, typically, you're only really gonna see this with competitors that are deep into a prep, but sometimes it might happen for your just general population who wants to drop some body fat. It might just get to that point. It always depends on the person. So, what cardio should you be doing for fat loss? Well, both can work. Both have their pros and cons. HIIT cardio, it's gonna save you a lot of time. Probably best to have at the beginning of a dieting phase when you've got a little bit more food and you are still recovering well. But as you start to transition to less food, not the best recovery, well, it's probably gonna be best to transition more into steady state cardio. So what I would say is maybe a little bit of both, but really watch how much HIIT cardio that you are adding. We don't want to get too much, like I said. We don't want to be hindering recovery. All right, guys, that is going to be everything for today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you have any questions regarding cardio, training, dieting, nutrition, just go ahead, leave a comment down below, or shoot me an email.